Okay, today I thought we'd do a bit of an experiment. We've recently purchased the new Oscar 930 Pro juicer. It's one of the slow auger juicers. It's meant to be the fastest auger juicer in the world. So we wanted to put it to the test against our old trusty 5-year-old Oscar Vital Max, which we've been very, very happy with, by the way. But I just heard you could put larger amounts through this and it would go through faster. So let's do a little bit of an experiment and see which is better. But before we do, let's just have a look at the construction of these. These are very different to the fast centrifugal juicers, which actually heat the juice up and cause it to oxidize and destroy enzymes. This literally is squeezing the juice out. They're quite a simple construction. That whole assembly just comes off like that. So you can see there's a filter in here. Don't worry about the brown stains. It's had 5 years worth of heavy use and juice going through it. So literally this spins around and just squeezes the juice through the strainer and makes a beautiful, highly nutritious juice. These juices will also last a lot longer in the fridge. While it's always best to have your juices as soon as possible, they will keep in the fridge for a couple of days, particularly if they're coming out of an auger juicer like this. So the Oscar 900 will also do frozen ice cream and things like that. It'll do wheatgrass, all your vegetables, fruits. It'll even do sort of some basic nut butters as well. So that's the 900. It's our old beauty. 5 years we've done retreats with it. It's been very heavily used. Has a 20-year warranty on the motor, 5-year on parts, so incredibly trustworthy. Now we're looking at its younger brother, the Oscar 930 Pro, which has sort of been designed for high users. Like if you're in a juice bar, or if you're like us, you like juicing a lot and you want to speed things up, it's been designed for that. It's a similar design. If you see I take that off, the whole assembly comes off. You can see, again, it's got an auger which spins very slowly around, doesn't heat the juice up, and strains through this little straining unit here. So very simple construction, very easy to put together. The difference between the two is this one will do, the Oscar 900 will do like spaghettis, not that I make spaghetti out of it, but it will do things like that. It's got all these different fittings and it will do ice cream. This one is a hardcore juicer, so it is primarily, its job is just to juice. It won't do the ice creams and things like that. So today let's look at what we're going to juice. What I've done is I've weighed the exact ingredients for both juicer because I want to test out which is faster, but not only which is faster, if one of them perhaps extracts more juice, has drier pulp. So we're going to test a few different things. We're going to weigh the pulp and see which one's got more moisture in it. And today we're juicing some grass. I actually got Ishka, my son, to go and pick some beautiful green grass from the back garden. You don't need wheatgrass. Most people don't realise that there are 400 varieties of grass. They're all edible, highly nutritious. They really suck up the minerals from the earth more than any other plant. So I let my grass grow about this long and then we go and harvest it with scissors, and it's a lot easier than growing wheatgrass. And in this subtropical humid climate, it doesn't go mouldy like wheatgrass often does too. What I've done for this experiment, I've chopped it up because this grass is so fibrous, it's not really, these juices aren't really made for this type of grass. It really is tough. So I've just shortened it a bit to make it a bit easier on the juicer. I've got our celery, I've got collard greens, I've got cos or romaine lettuce, I've got some carrots, a little bit of apple, also got some dandelion greens there. So we've got all sorts of goodies up. What else is hiding there? Parsley. So as you can see, greens are a predominant part of my juice. I've also got cucumber, highly alkalizing. Greens are just packed full of minerals. They're just probably the most nutrient-dense food. And for me, green juice really is the one food that makes me feel the best out of anything. Like anything in the world that I put into my mouth, green juice instantly makes me feel calm, relaxed. If I'm feeling a bit detoxy, I've eaten something that didn't agree with me, green juice just seems to be an antidote for a lot of things. It's very alkalizing, very cleansing. And the beauty about juice as opposed to smoothies is it gets absorbed straight in. You don't have to work to digest it, so very healing. Some other things I like throwing into my green juice are some lime and some ginger. So really you can play around with that, but you can see a bulk of what's going in here is the greens. So for both juices I've got exactly the same ingredients. I've weighed them to the gram. So let's start with the experiment. I'm going to call Rooney in to operate one of these machines. All right, my beloved Rooney's here to help with this experiment. Thank you, Rooney.
You're welcome.
So let's start up the machines. I'm going to be using the older, apparently slower one. There we go. They sound very similar. I find it's good to mix up hard things like celery with leafy things that sort of alternate when I'm making my juice. Okay, see, I've cut things similarly. That's too big to fit in the hole. One thing I didn't tell you is this has a much bigger hole. So if you want to come round here, Ishka, and just show the difference in the two holes. So I had to cut the lime much smaller. So that's the Oscar 930. You can see it's got a larger hole. You can fit a lot more juice through it. Oh, a lot more vegetables, sorry. Get that parsley in there. The race is on. Who is going to make the most juice? Rooney seems to be having an easier time than me. It's sort of just, this machine tends to pull the juice through. The one Rooney's got tends to just pull the vegetables through. My one, you really got to work it a little bit. You got to. It's good if you want to work out. This one's good for a workout. All right, this is going to be testing this out. I'm putting through a big carrot. Some grass in there. And by the way, if you overload these machines, they both have a reverse function. So if they get jammed or they stop, you just put it in reverse for a second and Bob's your uncle. I've also had to cut the apple a lot smaller to fit into this one. So I'm going for it here. Rooney seems to be just taking it easy. Except I think she's having some challenges with the grass clogging it. Is that right, Rooney?
It might be.
Yeah. Well, I'm catching up. There's definitely less work in this one because you literally just put the food in, the vegetables and the fruit, and it just pulls it through.
Okay, that's me.
That's me. Okay. Well, interestingly, first surprise, we took about the same amount of time. I think I put a lot more effort into it than Rooney. I was really working to get the vegetables through. Now let's look at the pulp. Now, actually let's first look at how much juice we've extracted. I've got some measuring cups here. Alright, so let's see that. Exactly the same amount of vegetables. I've got a tad over 2 cups, and you've got nearly 3 cups. That's very interesting. Put them side by side. So this one here is from the Oscar 900, the old model. This one here is from the Oscar 930, so the new model. So it's easier, and it seems to extract significantly more juice. It's quite a bit more juice.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and just for an experiment, let's weigh the pulp. Okay. So we've got, just get that last bit. We've got about 91 grams of pulp from this machine versus, let's zero that again, yeah, that's 0. 196 grams of pulp from the old machine. We're basically talking over 100 grams less drier pulp in the new machine. So I wasn't aware of that, but this machine is extracting significantly more juice as well.
Yeah, you can really tell when you have the pulp there like that.
It's much more compressed and it's much drier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so the decision is up to you. If you want ease and to be able to extract more juice, this is a wonderful machine. And this one will also do the ice creams and do a few extra things this won't do. Yeah, the decision's up to you. We currently love using this one because we're very high users and we just love the ease of it. So I just wanted to point out too that I know a lot of you may not be juicing your back lawn like we are. The lawn really works these things out. We've done experiments or seen experiments with these two juices just using traditional things like carrots, celery and apple, and this wins hands down when you're just using them. It seems with the grass you actually have to push it through in both machines, so it didn't really give this much of an advantage. So, you know, overall, from other experiments we've seen, this is also a faster machine, you know, in general. Though today, you know, maybe also I was just pushing it a bit faster than Rooney. That could have been another variable, couldn't it? All right then. So my overall verdict would be this one is definitely faster, gets more juice, the Oscar Pro 930. You might also have seen it in some US websites. It's called the Huron there. It's under a different label. So the Huron and the Oscar 930 are actually the same machine. So they're both pretty simple to clean. They just come off like that. We'll bring that over to the sink. And then I'll also bring this one, you just twist. So both, just with a simple twist, the whole unit comes off. So we'll look at the Oscar Vitalmax first, the assembly for that. So just open that. And they come with these sort of big toothbrushes. Give them a quick rinse. Then it's a matter of cleaning the grid. I believe if you soak them in some bicarb soda, you can also get some of the vegetable juice stains out, because it can actually stain the plastic. You can see it's very, very simple and quick to clean the Oscar Vitalmax, or the Oscar 900 it's also known as. Okay, the last piece. Alright, here, now we're going to do the Oscar 930, so the top section. So the auger, then we've got the sieve, or the straining part. So a similar amount of time. I'd say the Oscar Vitalmax is probably slightly quicker to clean, but it's not a huge amount of difference between the two. And then this, you just have to get this last bit of pulp and get that out like that. And you see under here there's a plug which makes it easy to clean. That plug, just when you're juicing you have that in, when you're cleaning you have that out. And then you can just get right in there and get every little last piece of pulp out and rinse that. So as you can see, these juices are very quick to clean, both of them. And overall, really, it depends on your needs as to which one you might prefer. I'd say high volume juicer, you definitely go with the 930, also known as the Huron. Or if you're wanting to do more ice creams and things like that, you're not concerned about getting maximum juice extraction, I'd go for the Oscar Vitalmax.